Nature is brutal. Every day, animals have to fight to survive. But some animals have secret, deadly defenses, from toxic poisons to explosive attacks. When you think of dangerous creatures, ants don't come to mind. That's because most people haven't seen their secret power. Many ants have the ability to fire acid, formic acid to be exact. The red forest ant has a poisonous gland. When a predator gets too close to the ant or the ant hill, they will be sprayed with this acid. The ants have tiny holes on their abdomens, which they can aim at any predator. Of course, this is not super precise, but to an ant that doesn't matter. A colony of ants acts as a single organism, meaning the individual ants' lives don't matter. The only thing they care about is protecting the colony. When you have an entire colony of ants spraying acid, things get very dangerous. The acid fumes corrode the mucous membranes of predators, making even big animals like bears back off. I will never mess with ants again. But a creature with even crazier defenses has to be the horned lizard. Not only do these guys have sharp spikes, they can even swell up to appear larger. But that's nothing compared to their scariest defense mechanism, which is shooting blood from their eyes. It sounds like something a sci-fi monster would do, but horned lizards do this whenever they feel in danger. They can shoot blood up to 5 meters away. But how does this even work? Well, it blocks the outflow of blood from the head, causing its blood pressure to raise, bursting the blood vessels around its eyelids. This causes the horned lizard some discomfort, but doesn't seriously harm it. This defense mechanism actually has a name: auto-hemorrhaging. The taste of the lizard's blood is very nasty. It can even be poisonous to dogs, wolves, and coyotes. This scary trick allows horned lizards to fight off animals way bigger than them, without the predator even realizing what hit them. But an even wilder defense mechanism is this. This is a bait ball, a phenomena where fish clump together in a big sphere. It looks like a fish tornado, but it's actually a genius method fish use to save their own lives. When separated, fish are very vulnerable, but as a bait ball, they're a large block, which is enough to scare off most predators. These bait balls can reach 20 meters in diameter and go down to a depth of 10 meters. Bait balls work great against medium-sized predators. But if a whale sees one, it simply opens its mouth and chows down, catching an entire school of fish in seconds. One of the most devious defense mechanisms is used by Japanese bees. The main enemy of Japanese bees are hornets, which attack and destroy hives of Japanese bees. 30 hornets can destroy an entire hive of 30,000 Japanese bees, doing so in just 3 hours. But Japanese bees have come up with a way to fight back. When a hornet gets close to the hive, the bees leave the passage open, allowing the hornet to enter the hive. But when the hornet enters, the bees surround and overpower it, forming a ball of around 500 bees. The weight of the bees means the hornet can't escape. The bees then use their wings to warm up the surrounding air, causing the temperature around the hornet to reach around 47 degrees Celsius. Hornets can withstand a maximum temperature of 44 degrees Celsius, meaning that the hornet can't survive. The bees literally bake the hornet alive, as bees can withstand temperatures of 50 degrees Celsius. Being baked to death is a brutal way to go out, so don't mess with Japanese bees. If you're a hornet, that is. An even more deadly defense method belongs to the secretary bird. On the surface, this bird looks kind of goofy. It has tall, thin legs, pink eyes, and feathers poking out of its head. But don't be fooled. The secretary bird is like the Bruce Lee of birds. If a snake or another predator gets too close, it will deliver a brutal kick. Their kicks have the power of 5 times its own body weight, applied in the time span of 15 milliseconds, allowing them to trample snakes, lizards, coyotes, and other mammals, almost instantly ending their lives. You've seen the insane defense mechanism used by the horned lizard, but the armadillo-girdled lizard has an even more bizarre method, that is, biting its own tail. They do this to activate its own sharp armor, the spines on its back. This confuses predators, because they don't know which side to approach the lizard from. It also protects the most vulnerable part of the lizard, its abdomen. A similar lizard that also bites its tail is the Namazonorus campbelli. However, they do so for a different reason. You see, they like to live in between rocks. The only problem is, animals like snakes and baboons pull them out from the rocks. To stop this, the lizards bite their own tails. With their sharp spines pointing to the gap between the rocks, meaning any animals or humans that reach in will feel a sharp spike, a sneaky but very effective self-defense technique. This creature looks incredibly weird, and its self-defense mechanism is even weirder. This is a ribbon worm. When pressed, they spit out a white slime, which appears to grow all by itself. This slime is actually mucus. Ribbon worms store it in their nose. Ribbon worms use this slime to eat, using it to stick onto prey, and then pulling it back to eat it. But it uses this same slime to defend itself against predators. The slime has a very bad taste, and is also toxic to many animals. The technique allows ribbon worms to fight off fish, worms, and birds. Probably humans too. I know I would stay well away from any creature producing this weird slime. Geckos have a creepy yet genius way to defend themselves. If they're picked up by a predator, they will shed their scales. Their scales can easily fall off. If another animal grabs a gecko in its mouth, the gecko can ditch its skin and run away, leaving its attacker confused, with just skin or scales in its mouth. The best part is the gecko can regenerate its skin later on, meaning they can keep using this defense method again and again. Take a look at this crab. It looks like it's holding pom-poms, but they're more similar to boxing gloves. You see, this is the Libia crab. In its claws, it holds anemones. Anemones are soft, squishy sea creatures. Libia crabs grab these and wave them around, using them for self-defense. These anemones are poisonous, and will sting anything that gets too close. Libia crabs' claws are very delicate, which is why they use these anemones to eat. Without them, the crab would starve. The anemones allow the crab to eat and defend itself, kind of like a poisonous brass knuckle. Staying underwater, let's look at the electric eel. If you mess with an electric eel, then you won't make it out alive. They can discharge up to 600 volts of electricity, stunning large animals and even humans. Their bodies are filled with electrocytes, basically cells that act like tiny batteries. When an electric eel wants to shock something, they activate all of these cells at once, stunning or ending a predator's life. There have been many cases of electric eels ending humans' lives, so whatever you do, don't get too close. This spider species is one of a kind. It's named the Sabrinus reichenbergi, and they're almost impossible to kill. If they're in danger, they begin moving around like a ninja, doing backflips at 2 meters per second, allowing it to quickly roll away. A similar spider is the golden wheel spider. They roll down sand dunes to get away from danger. I can't figure out which spider is the most impressive. This is the Kentish plover. It's a small bird, but it has a genius way of defending itself and its chicks. If a predator gets close, the bird will move away from its nest and pretend to have a problem with its wing, making it look like easy prey. But when the predator gets close, it will simply fly away, basically pretending to look weak in order to save its chicks and itself. Animals really are smarter than any of us think. Comment below which of these defense methods was the most wild. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and watch this video next.